Hello, welcome back to my channel. It's really lovely to have you here with me today. Today's video is all about handmade gifts. My little boy has a birthday coming up really soon, so as I've been given the gift of time today to spend a big chunk of time sewing, I'm going to spend that time making him a gift for his birthday. And I thought it would be really nice to bring you along so you can see what I'm doing. And also to talk a little bit about handmade gifts and what they mean to me as a maker. And I'm sure that this conversation will resonate with most of you as well, because I know that most of you are makers. And making things, for me anyway, making things for other people has so much emotion for me, so much emotion tied into it, and means a lot to me. So I just wanted to share my thoughts and feelings on that subject with you and see what you think as well. So over the years I've made a variety of different things as gifts for people. I've made mini quilts and also lap quilts, baby quilts. I've made toys and zip pouches. It all depends on who I'm making for really, but I do really love making gifts for people. There's something really special about it. It isn't just a way of just providing a gift for somebody, and quite often some people think it might be a cheaper way of getting a gift for somebody, but actually there's a lot more that is invested into it. Not just the cost of materials, which are not cheap anymore, but also the cost of time. But what I think makes a handmade gift really special is the thought and feeling that goes into it. Because I know, and I'm sure many of you know too, that when you make something for somebody, you're thinking about that person all the time as you're creating it. You're thinking about the things that they like and whether they're going to like this that you're making for them, and you're just channeling so much positive energy into that gift and so much thought and so much love. And I think it is that makes a handmade gift really special. And perhaps some people who are not makers don't realise that when they receive a handmade gift, that it's not just the thought of the fabrics and the time that's gone into it, it's also that the absolute love for that person, because we make handmade gifts for the people that we really care about, don't we? I've made a couple of mini quilts for my mum and she really likes them, which makes me feel really good. I made her this Lynette Anderson mini quilt a couple of years ago now, and I definitely used techniques making it that I wouldn't now. If I was making it now, I'd do it all by hand. But I did the applique by machine, which is fine, but it doesn't give the results that I would like now. But it still makes me really happy to see it on the wall in her dining room. It's really nice that she displays it there. I also made her a mini quilt using Liberty fabric, and she actually puts that on the dressing table in her bedroom and has it as like a mat. So that's really nice that she uses the things that I've made for her. But today for me is all about making something for my little boy, as he has a birthday coming up soon. And he is the most handmade gift worthy person that I know, because he absolutely loves everything that I make for him, or things that other people make him too. He really appreciates them. He's very interested in what I'm doing in this sewing room, and he loves coming in and having a play around with my fabrics. And I really hope that as he continues to grow and get older, that he'll still have this interest and appreciation for handmade things. So I'm going to show you a couple of things that I've already made for him in the past, and then talk to you about what I'm going to make for him today. So this is probably my most favourite thing that I've made for him. And I'll just lean back here. This is his story pillow. That's what we call it, his story pillow. And I made this for his birthday last year, and it uses a technique called foundation paper piecing, which is different to English paper piecing. And if you're not aware of what foundation paper piecing is, in a nutshell, you have your design printed out on a piece of paper and you stitch the material, the fabric, you stitch the fabric over the top of it, and then you rip the paper off at the end, and you have this really, you get a really lovely quilt block. Very accurate way of piecing so many small seams, although mine are not perfect. This was my first attempt at foundation paper piecing. It's a bit of a tricky technique to get your head around, but it's really worth it. And I do love foundation paper piecing, and I've done a little bit more since. But this pillow, I just made up the actual pillow myself using 2 other people's block designs and then adding my own embellishment. So this is the book design, which there are 8 books on the back and 3 larger books because I enlarged it. 3 larger books on the front. And the book design is called Tall Tales, and I can't remember the name of the designer, but I'll put it up on the screen now. And the house block on the front of the cushion is by Larissa, who is Stitching Notes. And what I decided to do was to incorporate her wonky house into the book design. So it took a little bit of fiddling about to get the sizes to work with each other, because I was thinking of it as the 3 little pigs. And so I made one the straw house, one the stick house, and one the brick house. And then I added some embroidery details. And of course I used this fabric which has the 3 little pigs on, and it's just super cute, and he really, really loves this. And on the back I used other cute storybook and nursery rhyme themed fabrics for the book covers. So every time my little boy has a story in his bedroom, whether he's reading himself in bed or I'm reading to him, he always says, "Don't forget my story pillow, mummy," and we prop it up in his bed so that he can sit comfortably and look through books, which is exactly what it was intended for. Today I'm going to make him a backpack. So I've been collecting materials to make this backpack, and I'll show you what I've got. So first of all, I bought these 2 Heather Ross fabrics, which are froggy themed, because I thought he really, really loved these. They're so cute. It's just beautiful fabric. So bought that one, which I was thinking will be the exterior of the backpack, and this one for the interior, but I may do a contrast pocket on the front, and I might do it out of hexies if I can find more fabric in my stash that ties in with it. So we'll have a look for that in a minute. And also I bought some green webbing, or like a canvas strap for the straps. I bought a green zip, and I bought this keychain because I have a little idea for something that I want to attach to his backpack for him, because this backpack will go with him to nursery, and it's obviously been a long time since he's been at nursery. He doesn't go every day anyway, and I do anticipate some attachment difficulties between himself and I. So I'm going to make him something really special and attach it to the backpack with this keychain. So stay tuned for that. Now, perhaps it would make sense if I had bought a backpack pattern, or if I was going to take an old backpack apart to use that as a pattern, which I've done that sort of thing before. And also I've never made a backpack before, but I'm not going to do either of those things. I'm going to make it up as I go along. I'm going to wing it. So this could go horribly wrong, but we'll see. I'm going to use foam for the back that goes along your back. that part of the backpack, and I'm going to interface the cotton for the front part, so it will be a lightweight backpack. And I'm going to use an overlocker for the seams to hopefully make it more durable. So I've already cut out the shape that I wanted from the foam, and now I'm just cutting out the same shape from the fabric for the exterior, and also I cut some for the lining, and I'm going to create a quilt sandwich with the foam in the middle and the exterior fabric on one side and the interior, the lining, on the other side, ready to quilt it. So my machine's done some lovely quilting stitches. I'm really pleased with how that's turned out. So I went ahead and cut out the interfacing for what was going to be the front panel, but I've decided that I'm going to use the foam for the front and the sides and the bottom. It's really lightweight, and I think it will go through the overlocker no problem to join the seams, and it really gives such a nice texture. I know I've talked a lot about foam before, but it's great stuff. So I'm going to go ahead and prepare another panel exactly the same as this, and also think about a pocket and how I'm going to make that. So the front and back panels are done, and now I'm going to look through my fabrics to pick some to make some hexes so I can make a pocket. So this is my box of smaller pieces of quilting cotton, some small scraps in here. So I'm going to have a rummage around inside and see what I can find that will go nicely with the backpack fabric. So a little progress update. My hexes are done. I think I quite like this placement. Trying to make sure that I put them in a position where no heads are going to be chopped off when it's, you know, made into a pocket, when it's got a zip across there and when it's in the seams. I think this is going to work. So now it's time for lunch, and I think I might sit on the couch for a bit and stitch these together, and I'll meet you back when that's done. So they're all stitched together, and I've also quilted them. I've put a backing fabric on and the foam in between, and now I'm just trimming it down, ready to attach it as a pocket. It's worth pointing out here that the hexes I made were actually made with hexiform, so there's quite a thick layer there with the hexiform, the foam and a backing fabric for the pocket, but it works really nicely. I've added the zip, I've bound the seam inside as well, so there's no raw edge seams inside the zip pocket, and now I'm ready for the next step. Right, just checking in again. I've got about an hour before I need to stop for today, and I'm really hoping I can get it done. I've had a miscut with the fabric, which meant that I didn't cut my pieces wide enough to wrap around the foam that was going to go around the sides and on the zip. So I've had to rethink the construction because I didn't have enough fabric left. So it's going to be a narrower gusset, and I've decided I'm just going to do the gusset out of one piece. So it's going to fit around there. It's hard to do with one hand, but it'll go right around this bottom half like that, and then the zip will finish off around the top. So I'm going to do that bit now. We have the front of the backpack. It's looking a bit squashed at the top, but it's coming together. I was going to use an overlocker because I knew there was going to be this raw edge inside, and I was going to use an overlocker to seal it all, but I'm scared of getting it wrong and chopping a bit off because it's all fitted together really nicely. So I am going to bind it with binding by hand. But I'm not going to do that today. I'm going to finish the rest of it today. So I have got the back now, and I've put the straps, just pin them into place. The top handle, just going to stitch that into place, and then I am going to add just some simple straps and then join it all together. So I'm on the home stretch with this, well, apart from having to bind it all by hand later, but for today I'm just trying to wrangle all these layers through the machine to sew the back on, and I'm really understanding why I am a hand sewer, because I just don't find this relaxing at all. Although I hope I'm going to be pleased with the finished backpack, but I just really don't find machine sewing relaxing. I actually find it a little bit stressful. So I better sew through these layers and then show you the finished result, so fingers crossed it works out. So the moment of truth, here is the finished backpack, and it turned out okay. I'm surprised. It's definitely not perfect, but it's okay. it will do the job. Like for example, there's a bit of a pull here. It's not quite lined up straight, but other than that, it's okay. Yeah, I'm pleased. So all I've got to do is bind the inside now. I'm not going to do that today because I've spent about 3 hours on it today and I'm tired, and the other day I spent probably about 6-7 hours working on it, so there's a lot of work has gone into it, but it's turned out really nice. It feels nice, and that is because of the foam, which gives it such a lovely structure. As it's quilted as well, it's really, really nice. So yeah, I'm pleased. There's the back. So I just put the straps on like this. I suppose an improvement point for the future would be to maybe make padded straps using the foam and the fabric, and just use the strap, this part of the strap for the bottom bit, like you'd get on a backpack that you buy in the shops. But I didn't actually have enough fabric left to do that, which is one of the drawbacks, I suppose, of just winging it and not actually using a pattern. But other than that, it's turned out fine. Yeah, I'm pleased with it. I think it's going to be okay. So I wish you could feel it because it really does feel real nice. So I know I said I was going to make a little something special to go on a keychain, but I'm going to do that another day for it. And I've got a couple of weeks before I need to give it to him for his birthday. But yeah, I really hope that he likes it. So thanks ever so much for watching this vlog style video. Tales from the sewing room, if you like. It's definitely a new style video for me. I'm still testing the water and seeing what works on this channel. So, but I've enjoyed doing it. I have found this style of video to be quite hard. It's really hard to film every single step while you're making something, especially when you're just making it up as you go along. But I hope it was interesting and that you enjoyed it. And thanks so much for the lovely support that you're all giving me here on this channel. I was initially a bit afraid of starting a YouTube channel. It's taken me a long time to actually do it. And I'm so glad I did, because I'm really enjoying the creative process of making videos. But most of all, I'm really enjoying the connections with all of you. I love reading your comments and replying back. It's lovely to have such a wonderful, supportive community of friends here. I'm blown away by the wonderful community here, and thank you all so much for your support. It really means a lot. So I'll see you soon for another video. I don't know what it'll be about yet, but there'll be another one next week. So thank you all so much. Take care, look after yourselves, and I'll see you next week. Happy sewing. Bye.